Did you know that in Alabama it's illegal to wear a fake mustache in church if it makes people laugh? Yes, you heard that right. This law exists, and it's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the world's dumbest laws. Welcome to today's video, where we're diving into the most bizarre and downright ridiculous laws from around the world. Let's start our journey in Switzerland, where it's illegal to flush the toilet after 10 p.m. in an apartment building. Apparently, this law was made to keep the peace at night, but it's a bit extreme, don't you think? Now, cross over to Florida, where you could be fined for singing in your swimsuit. Yes, singing while in a swimsuit is an offense. And in France, it's illegal to name your pig Napoleon. This one takes us back to a time when naming a pig after a beloved historical figure was seen as an insult to the nation. These laws are just a glimpse of how quirky and out of place some rules can be. In Arizona, it's illegal for a donkey to sleep in a bathtub. Yes, you heard that right, a bathtub. This law came into existence in the 1920s after a rancher's donkey fell asleep in a bathtub and a flood washed it miles away. The town had to put in significant effort to rescue the poor animal, so they decided to make sure it wouldn't happen again. Extreme, but I guess they wanted to avoid another donkey rescue mission. Over in Italy, if you're planning on visiting Milan, make sure you smile, because there's a law that requires you to smile at all times, except during funerals or hospital visits. Imagine being fined for not smiling. The law was put in place as a way to encourage positivity, but it certainly sounds more like a setup for a sitcom episode. And in England, it is illegal to handle a salmon suspiciously. Yes, suspiciously. This law is part of the Salmon Act of 1986, aimed at combating illegal fishing. But the wording leaves so much room for imagination. Just what does handling a salmon suspiciously look like? I can only picture someone sneaking around a dark alley with a fish in their coat. In Vermont, women need their husband's permission to wear false teeth. This law dates back to a time when husbands had a say in almost every aspect of a woman's life. Imagine having to ask permission just to get dentures. Thankfully, it's not enforced today, but it remains a funny reminder of how times have changed. Next, let's head over to Australia, where it's illegal to change a light bulb unless you're a licensed electrician. Yep, you could be fined for trying to change a simple light bulb in your own home. The law was initially meant to protect people from electrical hazards, but it definitely takes the concept of leave it to the professionals to a whole new level. In Japan, it's illegal to be too overweight. The country has a law known as the Metabo Law, which requires companies and local governments to measure the waistlines of citizens between the ages of 40 and 74. While it's meant to promote health and reduce medical costs, it's a bit strange to think the government could be so involved in your waist size. In Connecticut, pickles must bounce to be legally considered pickles. This law was created in the 1940s after two men were caught selling subpar pickles. The authorities decided that a good pickle should bounce, and thus the bouncing test became a legal standard. Imagine being the inspector whose job is to bounce test pickles. But the absolute winner in the list of ridiculous laws has to be in Samoa, where it's illegal to forget your wife's birthday. Talk about a high-stakes relationship. Imagine getting fined for something that's already stressful enough. This law may have been created to ensure husbands remember important dates, but it's definitely one that leads to some hilarious stories. In Denmark, it's illegal to start your car without first checking underneath it for sleeping children. While the intention is undoubtedly good, ensuring the safety of kids who may have found an unusual spot to nap, it certainly makes starting your car a lot more complicated. So, there you have it. Some of the dumbest, most bizarre laws that still exist around the world. They serve as a reminder of how much societies change and how legal systems sometimes struggle to keep up. If you've heard of any ridiculous laws, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more entertaining content.